everybody. Hope you've all been well. It's been quite a while since I've made one of these videos. If you forgot who I am, I'm Jason from Klein Race Car Designs. And I told you that I wasn't going to do anything until I started getting some stuff done. So, we got something done about a week and a half or so ago. Just been really busy with other things, so I haven't had time to make a video. Today is kind of a perfect time. It's Saturday. Not sure if you're going to see this on a Saturday or if I'm just going to pre-post it out for Sunday Modelcars and Coffee. We'll think about that. Don't know. Tomorrow I know that I'm going to be extremely busy. So a lot's happened since I've last made a video. I've done a couple different little model shows that were at car shows. My Golden Commandos won Best in Competition class, so that was really cool. And then we've been working on the buddy build. We've been working on some zombie builds, which mean a lot to me, a real lot to me. That was the reason why I started the group build with Paul, was to try and get some of these things that are kind of just sitting in boxes or fell off shelves years ago. And the one that I'm currently working on, which I'll show you in a little bit here before we end the video, that one fell off the shelf many years ago and then just kind of got plopped back in the box, you know, a long time ago. So we're gonna get it back together. So what did we complete? I'm gonna flop this camera around and I'm gonna tell you what we completed. Hang on one second. Probably a couple months ago, I got this little kit from Iceman, the little Moto Compo scooter. This was a prototype, and I think they only sold for a limited run and just for a certain time frame. It's nothing that he's got current on his website, but it could possibly, you know, you never know if it pops back up sometime next year again or whatever. Definitely something that I'm gonna watch on the site, because if these things ever pop up, I'm gonna buy another one and then do another one in a different color scheme. But I was able to get a really good feel for some other products, meaning some paint products and some different clears and stuff. So I kind of used that for this build to kind of experiment, being it was so small. But I kept this too. This is where all the parts were in. It was kind of like a little crate, which was really kind of cool. So I thought, well, I'm going to keep that. You just never know. Might have a different use for it or whatever. So really cool. So what I decided to do was, like I said, experiment with some different colors, some different paints, and some different techniques, and some basically some water-based clears. I used a couple water-based clears on the military build, and then I figured, well, I'm gonna try it on some other paints as well. So this is what we decided to do. Since the Golden Commandos is an altered wheelbase, highly modified factory race car, and we had some paint left over, I figured, well, what the heck? If you're gonna have a pit bike for it, you need something customized, something modified, big fat tire on it. So that's what we did. We kind of made it a team bike, a pit bike for the Golden Commando. We had some left over of this copperish orange color. We bare metal foiled the trim all the way around as one piece on this thing. We tried a couple different paint techniques to create the more of a polished, dull aluminum look on the bike. We've got basically like a leather interior look on the seat, the hand grips, and also the foot pegs. So once it comes back around here, I'll stop this thing. All the parts fit extremely well on this bike. The print was remarkable. Like I said, I had a blast with this thing, doing this thing, learning a few different techniques. I wanted to try a couple different metallizers here that are on this particular build, and the main thing I really wanted to do was to try to give a couple parts that anodized look. So as you can see there with like the neck for the handlebars, the tip on the exhaust, also the front forks, it really came out nice as a gold anodized. So I had to kind of try and experiment a little bit with a few things. Like I said, we bare metal foiled the whole outside trim on the body of the bike. The fat tires, it sits up by itself. As you can see here, let's see if we can get in a little bit closer. Excuse me. We did steel, and we black washed all the brake rotors, the calipers, all that stuff, to where it gives it a little bit of a real effect. Kind of gave it a little bit of a worn effect as well. Like I said, I wanted to make the polished aluminum on the case and all that stuff look like it's been used and kind of cleaned and just kind of upkept. So we kind of weathered that a little bit, made it a nice dull look, and we did that with using some of the water-based clear coats. So it was a really good experiment. I had a lot of fun with this, putting this thing together. Really cool build, and being that I had a little bit of this color left from the Golden Commando build, I thought this is going to be perfect. We'll just use up that paint. We'll make a nice little modified pit bike for the Golden Commando drag car. We're going to stick that in the case with this build, and was a lot of fun. Like I said, if Joel ever puts this thing up on his site again, I definitely am going to probably buy one or two more, and then I have a couple other thoughts to do some different color combinations, so I think that'll be a lot of fun. So, I'll show you what we're working on the bench. We'll keep this video short as possible here. Hang on. So over here on the bench, we've got the Demon and Primer. That's for the buddy build that me, Joe, and Bruce are doing. And then I'm currently working on a car that I put together a long time ago as a child. It had fell off my shelf at the other house a long time ago and kind of fell apart. The windows and the seats and all that stuff, and the chassis kind of separated. So I basically just threw it in the box, and it's been hanging around in a box for over 25 years basically. So I decided to kind of pop it open. I kind of buffed out the roof because there was some fingerprints of glue, and there's some on the deck lid, so we're gonna have to color sand that out a little bit, but I'm not gonna change it a lot. Basically what parts are in here are going back in here. What I did do was I must have got the paint on really bad with the brush, and it was black. So I stripped this chassis plate, since all the suspension basically fell off of it. I had to repair one of the motor mount pieces that broke. So I decided to prime this thing. We're gonna try and do a factory fade with the blue on the edges, as if the car was painted in the factory that color. And then we're just gonna put it back together. Being that the interior was really not ever painted, other than I must have painted like black carpet in there, we're gonna shoot this thing and give this a little bit of a color instead of just plain plastic. And same thing with the seats right here. That's about it. The motor, the heads fell off the motor, so those are laying right there. So we're just gonna kind of glue some parts back together. We'll paint. I don't know why I just did the steering wheel all silver, but we'll paint that with the black handle area, and then I stripped the rear end, so we'll repaint the rear end and give that a little bit of a weathering detail. And then same thing with the front suspension, was just plain blue. There again, I was a kid, I didn't know why I just left it blue, but I did. But we'll paint that and give that a little bit of detail, and we'll glue this thing together, and we'll have a zombie build done. So we've also got a bunch of parts here that are painted and prepped for the 55. The 55 is in the Easy Bake Oven over there, and we're letting some primer cure on that. The 55 was supposed to be for the Blue Ox Model Shop's street build of last year. Nowhere near got the thing done, so we're just gonna kind of not gonna call it the Street Machine group build anymore. We're just gonna call it the 55 streetcar. I missed the deadline on that big time, so I'm not even gonna bother with trying to tag that thing in into that group build, since we didn't complete it on time, nowhere near. The dart is pretty much done, so I'm not going to show that. Let's flip this around. So as far as the USAC dart goes, I also missed the deadline on that, but the dart is pretty much done. The dart was a lot closer to being done on the deadline than anything really. There was just the little things that I just didn't get done as far as some of the wiring and stuff like that. So like right now the dart is pretty much 90% done. There's just a couple little things underneath that I need to kind of tidy up a little bit and do a little bit of some panel lining to kind of weather a little bit. Other than that, it's ready to go. I haven't made up my mind. Basically, I think we talked about it on the AMC show a few weeks back about just kind of debuting the darts down at Acme. So I'm thinking that's what we'll do. So the USAC dart is pretty much done. The 55 I want to have done for Acme, and we're just gonna call that like a street drag car. Basically drag and drive car is what it is. There's no drag and drive group build, so basically it's just kind of my fantasy car at this point. And we're just going to be excited to have that done. That and the dart being done, this little bike being done, and we're going to get that demon and that zombie build done. And then I've got another really cool build that I'm really itching to get on, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So hope you enjoyed this video. I got something done. I probably won't do another video until I get some really good progress, maybe on the 55, where it's maybe got all the chassis stuff done, and we're just gonna be ready for the final paint or something. Maybe we'll showcase that, or if the demon kind of leapfrogs over with that one getting more complete, we'll do a video to where we're actually showing some good stuff on the channel. That's my main focus right now, is to actually show something that is positively getting done, and not just a bunch of crap that you see me buying or putting in the stash. So that's kind of boring. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.